everyone? It is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're gonna get into the Mthrship Mega Celestial Nirvana palette. So we finally got what we asked mother for, like 533.72, years of begging for colorful mattes and just begging for color in general. I'm suing Morgan Turner though, like, mother, where's the blue, green, purple situation we asked about? Where's that? So this is the palette. It went up in price. I feel like it was cheaper last year. Like, maybe it's just in my mind, but I feel like it was cheaper. Anyway, so I'm going to show you it alongside one to see how they have developed and evolved from when she originally came out. When they originally came out, it had this, like, where you had to pull it out like this, whereas now it's just in a regular box. And have the extra side panel flap situation. One thing she hasn't changed, though, that people are annoyed about is the strings. I feel like that's just her thing. She's not going to change the strings, so you're just going to have to cut them strings, girl, and move on with your life. Mother said the strings will stay. She said she gave you color, so deal with the strings. Anyway, this is what 1 and 3 look like. As you can see, the new one looks much bigger as well. Let's open them up and see how they look side by side. Now, I remember I did palette matchup with the first one alongside Jackie Anna's palette because Morgan Turner pointed out they'd be good companion palettes, and she was right. So I put both of mine together and did like 2 or 3 looks, and you all really enjoyed it. Now, I don't know what I can necessarily pair with this one, other than, she got another Nirvana palette. It's one of the smaller ones that she did the Astral Blitz shades in that I was super in love with, and she has never done again, and I want her to do again. But here's the first one up against the third one. Now, this one I don't have any comparisons for, but honey, when I do this melt video right after this, I got like 533 million. So if you watch that one, honey, I hope you grab a snack and a drink and act like this is a movie. You better go get you some popcorn, girl. I was going to go get me some popcorn just because I'm hungry and I haven't eaten all day. But I was like, no, we're going to wait. I'll eat some popcorn when I get home tonight, just so I can eat and take my medicine. I feel like I sound like an old person saying that, but I have to take antibiotics right now. So next, I have 2 and 3. As you can see, the packaging on these is somewhat similar. Oh, and this one is bigger than the one from last year. It's like she just keeps trying to get bigger and bigger. Look at the difference. Like, you can clearly see that 2 is still smaller than 3. So it's like, are they just going to get bigger each time, mother? Like, is that how you justify and going up on the price because you made the packaging bigger? I don't know. I don't know. I like the second one from last year because she put some new special type shades in, but I heard other people saying they didn't like it. I liked it just fine. You can see she changed the way she put the insignia as well. Like, it was in the middle of the palette last year, and then this year, as you can see, it's on the bottom. Sorry, my finger out the way. So it's what the color stories look like. I feel like this could work with this palette as well. So I feel like all the colors and shimmers could perform with this palette as well. It's just more, I like the finishes she put in here. There was like some glittery ones. I think it was this green one. I think the black one is one other shade. I forgot. I did the look with it so long ago, but I know that to be fact. Now, let's move on to the mini palette. So I'm going to show one she actually came out with recently that they claim they took out of the vault. This is the La Vie en Rose. So I wanted to show it alongside this palette. I mean, I know they're not exact, but I figured since it has the purples in it that you might want to see it alongside here. And since I owned it, I was like, let's go ahead and just pull her out. It has some pinks and some purples in it, and this is a truly pink purple type palette. Now, I didn't bring the big one that this palette is made from, but as you can see, it has similar coloring to it. And I'm liking the fact that she gave us some more color, and it's actually colorful mattes. That's the main thing I was mainly excited about with this one. They were colorful mattes and it's color all the way through. Now, she could have kept her neutrally reddish pink warm section to herself. I didn't want that. I would have been fine if she did an all cool tone palette, but I know other people like warm tones, so she has to cater to all of us. So there's that. Now, here's the palette I feel like this palette was based upon. Nocturnal Nirvana, the blue, green, and purple like quad I was talking about, that I would definitely pair with this palette, because it's like now I have mattes to pair with the all shimmer palette of this one. This is still my all-time favorite Pat McGrath quad. I don't care what you say. I don't care. This one is just everything. And the fact that there's blue, green, and purple in here, and then there's blue, green, and purple in here, and you got mattes to go with these shimmers now, is just everything to me. Like, I just pop this over here real quick and see how gorgeous that looks together. Just, yes, I'm here for it. Like, mother, why couldn't you just pop these in instead? You be repeating shades any other time. Like, what was the problem? I guess because of the Astral Blitz formula. That's why she didn't want to do it. I don't know. Maybe she thought we'd get mad at her again because, she keeps repeating a whole bunch of stuff. But it's like, in this case, I feel like you could have repeated it because, you know, I'm here for it. I'm available. I've been fine having it in this palette. So that was Nocturnal Nirvana. And then I bought, what is this one called? Risque Rose. Just to show like the matte pinks and the shimmers to go alongside this one. I think this is from 2019. Or it might be 2020. Anyway, here is what it looks like alongside the palette. So as you can see, it could be a nice extension to this row right here with the pinks and the neutrals in it. So let me pop this up in and you see what I'm talking about. Like, see, it's a nice extension to the bottom part right here. So some of the stuff you already have in your collection, you can use as extensions to this palette. In my opinion, that's what I plan on doing. Pull out all the Pat McGrath and play with them once together. So you will see some palette mashups on Instagram when I'm in the mood on the weekend to do so. Or just on a Friday when, you know, I need to go run some errands and I feel like being bothered with a look, which majority of the time is not, but I'm thinking about trying that tomorrow just so I have time to film a little more content because, you know, I only get 2 days a week to film content. Mine is giving y'all my Instagram pictures in the morning, which I forgot to post this morning because I was too busy trying to rush over here and get this intro done. So without further ado, we have talked about this pretty palette and showed the comparisons. I don't have that many. Oh wait, no, I got a couple more to show that aren't from Pat McGrath herself. They're from other brands. So we got the Michaela X Glam Light palette. This is volume 1. I felt like it could be a good companion palette or just had like similar tones to it. Sorry because it reflected, it's hard, but see what I'm saying? Like, she has more colorful mattes than Mother does, and it has kind of the same color story. You got the blue, the green, the pink, the purple, and then like the neutral tones at the top. So I feel like it was a good comparison. Now obviously I'm not comparing formula, I'm comparing color story, but you know, we could do a battle if you want. I didn't necessarily plan on doing one, but you know, like, if I get enough interest in it, y'all know I'll give you a battle in a hot minute. Then I have the, what is this? Juvia's Place, the Culture palette up against Mother's palette. This one just to me seems like a more brighter, funner version of Mother's palette when it comes to like the colors they chose, because all their colors are brighter. Even like their neutral tones are brighter. But again, it follows the same pattern, if you will, because you got your greens here. They just put the neutrals in the middle and put the purples on the end instead of putting neutrals first and then moving other way. But you see what I'm saying about the colors? I feel like those are really similar as well. So if you just need something to tide you over until this goes on sale, then you might want to go ahead and just use your Culture palette or use the Michaela X Glam Light palette, because they're having a similar color story experience. It's just not the bougie extra packaging and everything that comes with Mother here. So I think this palette is available at Sephora. Where's my phone? Girl, I don't know where my phone is, so I will come back and tell y'all if it's available at Sephora, and I might actually read the, you know, information and whatnot. But let me zoom you on in real quick if you're curious what's on my eyes right now. This is the Fenty Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. What is it? The Sorcerer one. As I wait for the Bard one to show up, I figured I'd play with the Sorcery one, and this was my favorite color story from her so far. The Bard one is okay. It's more of a warm tone thing, so I'm not necessarily in love with it, but I'm obsessed with the look I got out of the Sorcery palette, and I figured I'd share with you what's on my eyes because I normally do, and I figured sometimes you might actually be interested. So now I'll be right back with an eye look. Okay, girl? Okay, girl, I just decided to read it now because I was like, I'm not going to feel like being bothered later. So with that being said, a limited edition palette of 18 all new hues in 4 captivatingly creamy textures that deliver extraordinary effects to achieve makeup nirvana. It says, let your artistry take flight with this curated spectrum of silky mattes coordinated with gleaming metallics, luminous shimmers, and satin frost. Create an endless wardrobe of luxe looks ranging from sophisticated to subversive, with these advanced formulas that blend and build superbly. So that's what Mother got for us today. Now I noticed something interesting when it comes to the face palette being at Sephora. They only have the lighter one, the new Venus. So I thought it was interesting she didn't bring both of them to Sephora. I'm like, why can't mine come to Sephora, Mother? Why you want to go and do that? Love, huh? Why you want to go and do that? And then I didn't see like the highlighters or the individual eye, sorry, not individual, but the eye palettes either. So I found that interesting. Now for real, I'm gonna go do another look. Okay. Okay, y'all. So this is what I came up with. I feel like y'all should have known this is what I was gonna come up with. Like, if there's colorful mattes in the palette, I had to use them, and so I used the navy. Okay, let me show you what I used. I used this one, these two, this one and navy blue, and then I use this on the lid. I mean, not the lid, to blend out everything. So let's get into it, girl. Y'all, I was so happy about those colorful mattes. I was like, I have to use all of them. So I did my 3 crease special where I used 3 different colors in the crease, just so we could use as many colorful mattes as possible. And then I had to run the pink on the bottom just because I thought it'd be a fun, cool pop of color. Now I kind of wish I got a color mascara because I feel like I could use green mascara since I had the pink under the lower lash line. Or maybe get the green and pink and put the pink underneath the lower lash line for the look, but it's not that big a deal because, I mean, think about it, when would I have been using it again, most likely. Most likely not. I'd have literally probably been using it for a video and that's it. I'm not really into colorful mascara. So there's that. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the deepest shade. So the navy blue is the one I'm going to start off with. Y'all know I like to wing out my shape. So this is the Blend Bunny, what is this? B1 brush. So I'm just shaping up my cat eye, like always. And I try to take it like to where the brow bone is. So we're going to stop out right there. So we're going to stop right there when it comes to putting down the navy blue. I'm just blending it out now. Now we're going to go into the purple shade. So I took the dark purple shade, not the lighter one. I just was feeling the royal purple vibes. And I figured I'd go from darkest to light. So to me this is the brightest one. So I want the brightest one in the center of the eye. Which is why I did it this way. And then we're going to stop back right there. So we stop right here. And then we're going to go with the green last. Now, it's time for the green shade. Let's get on in there, girl. And just blend it the rest of the way toward the front of the eye. It doesn't matter that it's like going on the lid a little bit. Y'all know once I cut the crease with the glitter glue, we will fix that problem. So I try to make everything blend, make sure everything blends into everything else seamlessly. So as you can see, the gradient in the crease is a nice little blended situation here. So let's get my glitter glue on now, girl. When I was putting the mattes on by myself for the first eye, I was like, okay, mother, I see you with these mattes. Okay, let them blend like that song, Smooth Like Butter. Okay? But I mean, like, it's mother, so I don't know. I'm acting like I was so surprised like she couldn't come in with some janky or colorful mattes. Because as long as we've been begging for them, she knew she better do them right. Or she made everything except child God people and talking about it, y'all. So, okay. So let's start with the light blue. To me, it was difficult to pick up on this natural hair brush, but, you know, it wasn't like a super big deal. It could have just been like at the very start. You know how it is when you first dig into something. Sometimes it's pressed harder than you think, so you have to build it up a little bit. But I love the tone of this blue. It's just gorgeous. And I take it to where the purple ends, and then oddly enough where the green starts, that's where I put like the lilac-y purple shimmer I was telling y'all about. I put that toward the front of my eye. So basically just shape around this part right here until it gets right here. And then I'm going to flip it over and just take that lilac shade just for the top. I was originally going to put it in the inner corner, but I was like, no, we'll just do pink for the bottom part. So I did pink for the inner corner, and then I did pink on the lower lash line because I want to use the pink matte too. I'm like, we need to see how all the mattes look, because I feel like she did a somewhat bright pink in the past, but it wasn't this bright like the Risque Rose. What I told y'all about, that pink was a little bit deeper. So I'm like, I was happy to have this very light Barbie-esque type pink. So we're gonna run her on this lower lash line now. I put the black on the lower lash line. In the waterline, because I didn't know if my Collector's collection was gonna finally show up. So I was like, if it finally does, then you know, I won't have like a particular color underneath the lower lash line. But I prefer to put pink underneath here to match obviously the pink on the waterline, like a pastel-y type pink. But I was like, I don't want to ruin it, and then I get something in later and have to like try to get that out of my waterline just to make a video. I was like, no, that's a sensitive area and it's not that serious for me, so we're not doing it. Let's just keep running the pinks underneath it so we get the pigmentation we want. I think it did a pretty good job with the pigmentation considering I'm not using a primer underneath my lower lash line. I never do when I put a color underneath there, so whatever color you see underneath there, like, it was just colorful on its own. Let's drag a little bit more over here. So, that's what both of the eyes look like so far. Let's go ahead and put the pink shimmer in the inner corner, and then we'll talk about my thoughts on the palette. And I did order the other two palettes today because they launched today. You can also order the face palette on Sephora right now. I posted that on my community tab like at 3-something this morning when Sephora let me know about it. So I try to get y'all up to date on this stuff as soon as I find out, but you know. Well, let's back her on up now that we finished the eye look and talk about my thoughts. So I'm actually really enjoying the palette, and I'm so glad I got my hands on it. I mean, you know I was going to get my hands on it, but I'm just over the moon with the colorful mattes. Like, y'all don't even understand. Like, this is easily my favorite one out of all the ones she's come out with so far in this format, just because of the colorful mattes alone. It's like the colorful mattes are what made it for me. So I can't wait to try it out some more. I was originally going to do a quad, like a look with the quads of each quad. Let me know if y'all still want me to do that. I can do that in another video along with the what do you call them things, the 5 pants. I think they're 5 or 6 pants I just bought, and then I can do a look with each one of these quads because I really want to, and I kind of want to compare this quad to the green Dior palette that just launched at Sephora this morning. I bought mine from the Dior website though, so it should be here soon. I feel salty though because I have that friends and family coupon from what do you call it, Sephora, and it launched on Sephora this morning after I had bought, you know, what I bought, so I could have just did that. I'm kind of feeling like the blue in here looks similar to the blue in Nocturnal Nirvana, so I want to swatch those real quick just to see. But y'all know I was going to recommend this palette just because she gave us colorful mattes finally like we asked for. I feel like you should reward her by buying it just because how long do we ask for those before we finally got them, child? I'm happy just because of that. Okay, so this blue is looking lighter. If I remember correctly, this blue shifts to like a purple or something. Yeah, I feel like I could put this on top of the blue that's in the palette now and it'd be really nice. Okay, so this blue is a little more creamy. Okay. Okay, yeah, so this is like a blue purple type shift to it. Whereas like the one in the, so as you can see they're not the same. This has a blue purple shift to it, and this is just, I think, like a turquoise green blue shift to it. So they're not the same. I was just curious, and since we were sitting here and they were both here, I figured I'd go ahead and swatch them. But yeah, I recommend the palette 100%, 100%, 100%. Those colorful mattes blended wonderfully. They blended just like the Vidyard colorful mattes. So if you've tried Vidyard, then you know what I'm talking about. I feel like the Vidyard mattes blend really nicely and easily and are really buttery and pigmented. That's one thing they do really well, which is I feel like why they do a lot of those palettes. I feel like this blue, I swatched on my hand though now, it's feeling really similar to the Koi palette from Vidyard. So I have to swatch some of the Koi palette shades against the colorful shimmery shades in here because that's definitely what this is giving me. Now I don't think those have shifts to them. Don't quote me though because it's been a while since I used that palette. But I really enjoyed the palette. I really like my eye look. I think I look stunning. So those are my thoughts. I say get the palette. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.